Hey folks, welcome back. It's been a little while. I've been distracting myself with some other games. Trying to pretend that this one isn't nearly over. Oh, stop playing the devil music. Yeah, I know it's not gonna happen. Okay. I've talked to Silang. Talked to the apartment people that will talk to me. I've exhausted the northern part of the map, really. Did I get all Doom Spiral stories? I think I did. How'd you like the Let's Not Play Disco Elysium? There was almost another episode of that, but it was not another game, and it was...
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
I got shot! Even I can see that. I told you not to bring your trouble with you, policeman. We've got troubles of our own here. Though I suppose you took the worst of it. Turns out you were your own ill omen. Did the font change? It did. I guess you were right. The men with guns were coming for me after all. I'm not sure those were the last of men with guns either. There are always more coming for your kind, officer. And we'll be ready for him. Finger guns blazing. I'm off. Did we go talk to Suna? No, the Dice Maker. The Dice Maker is not Suna. Yes, I'm stalling. Stop looking at me in that tone of voice. This is just the first long-form game that I've done and actually finished. Or at least gotten this close. I would hate to think that I'm not going to do it now. Texture problems. I'm glad you're still here with me to keep me company. What would I do without you? Answer, of course. Murder. What? Okay. Just... bear with me for a second. No? Yeah, the font is different. I'm pretty sure. Alright, game's probably not going to let us go much further without putting on Lumiere. Oh, I sold the production schedule, so I can't... Yeah, okay. Yeah. I guess we'll just miss out on that dialogue. That's fine. Okay. See if I get shot for you in the future. I already bought books. Wait, did I buy books? I have a lot of money. Did buy books. But what were the books for? More time sink. More delays. More stalling. Poor broken door. But I don't feel that bad about it. It had it coming. It had it coming. Yeah, give me the Dick Mullen book. And, of course, such violence and immorality. I mean, enjoy. I think I bought everything I could from up here. The only other thing that I really didn't... Oh. Alright. Ugh. It is a bestseller for a reason. Yeah. Yeah. I already talked to Gaston. Wait, was that René? That was René. That was Gaston. It was René that died. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. It all starts to blur together after a while, folks. You understand. Alright. Can't do anything that way. I have talked to you recently. Abigail.
Danko.
Alright. Won't. Jeez.
Man, you're like bleeding there. Reality's really messed you up.
Those are the only stories you got? Alright. Are there any more stories you can tell? Not that I can think of currently. I guess that makes sense. You've been drinking a lot. That might be the case, yes. I'll be seeing you. Yeah. I'll be looking.
The legend. He's back
the
and
moon.
thirsty. I got
But
smokes
I'll
and piss
be
and a little speed to spice things
seeing
up.
you. Hey, game. Hey, game. All right. First off, how many smokes do I have? 11! Okay, that's plenty. Is it really? Sure. All right. But when there's another visual glitch, I'm just gonna hit it again. Hey kids, did you know cops are do things around here? No. I'm not gonna say children are stupid, but I am gonna think it really hard. I'm not gonna believe it, but I'm gonna make a dumb, sour face. Nothing. Is that the phasmid? It looks like the phasmid. Leaning against the wall. Wait. What if this is a fishing rod situation all over again? Don't be fooled again! Just stand here calmly and observe this non-phasmid. Do you see what it really is? Fine. It's not a phasmid. It's not even organic. It's just a fire iron resting by the fireplace. But where's your sense of wonder, man? Forget the fire iron. Can't get equipped with fire iron? What about a tire iron? Not too much to ask. Guess so. only other things that would be different, theoretically, are outside the Feld building. And the tent. Which way is the tent? There's no one here. I am not calling that phone again. Not on screen. And that means not off screen for this playthrough either. I'm clicking my mouse like a madman. And they're not all coming through anymore. I said the tent and I meant the church. Any of you know that I got shot? I already did this in the last 2 videos ago. I'm gonna be so cranky at myself. It's the trend, at least. What do you know?
Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
Game. Alright, that's it for now. I'm gonna try to put the text size back.
It's a par! Yeah! Par!
I'm gonna do that almost every time. Goodbye, Egg. Suna, did you notice I got shot?
Yes, what is it?
I guess not. Noid?
Yo man, what's on your mind?
A couple ounces of lead. A cell.
Hardcore.
I got shot in the leg! Ouch. She looks at your leg. I did notice you limping, but I thought maybe it was your thing or something. When I was 16, I used to date this guy who had a limp, but it only showed when he was sober. So I guess it wasn't real or something? I don't know. She shrugs, her eyes glazed over. Then she turns back to you. Anyway, short in the leg. I'm sorry, man. That must suck. Bye. Tiago? Tiago? How long is that? Not telling me. Is it? Remaining 10 hours. Okay. I guess it depends on how long I stall for, isn't it? Alright, welcome to Book Club Hour. Book Club Hour, detective. Look, Kim, maybe you want to be done with me already. But I like your company, and I don't want to give it up. I do not know what to say. Just be glad I didn't play the Disco Elysium dating sim on the channel. I'm sorry, there's a what? There's a dating simulator with us on it. Dating... What is a dating simulator? Well, you see, Kim, could you at least look at me when I'm talking to you? No, not while we are talking about these. All right. Well, it's like a visual novel, where characters have dialogue and in probably kiss. Excuse me. If it helps, Kim, we didn't kiss. I should hope not. But you did take off your gloves. You'll make it sound scandalous somehow. It was pretty cute. I'm not gonna lie. Can we stop talking about this? Okay. Kim? After that subject, do you really think I am following you into a room with a bed? Alright, point taken, Kim. You're just gonna miss out on book hour. Medicinal Purposes of the Pale. A small green book giving off a peculiar foreboding impression, although it's hard to figure out why. Describes the various ways of healing debilitating ailments through the use of the pale, some of which sound implausible at best. Okay, I can joke about it all I want, but I want Kim there just in case he offers it side commentary. We can do that, but not in the room with a bed. Okay. I get it, Kim. Thank you for laying boundaries on our relationship. There is no relationship. What? Cute and you're mad. Shut up, detective. Medicinal Purposes of the Pale. I'm going to keep the text size this size because otherwise I've already fooled around with it enough to know I won't be able to read everything on screen. Thanks, Patch. I'm sure it'll be fixed soon. The cover of this heavy tome is a number of esoteric symbols. Open the book. Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits of the pale. A large pharmacopoeia makes up nearly half the book. What's a pharmacopoeia? You come across the following explanation. While modern pharmacopoeia are constantly updated by so-called experts based on the results of clinical trials. Detective, how are you pronouncing air quotes? That is amazing. Readers will find assembled here the timeless wisdom relied on by generations of traditional Saolite medicinal practitioners, Maska mystics, and Ilmarin folk doctors. It's all quackery, in other words. Finally, something to calm the angry spirits that have been plaguing you. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that may be gathered from the pale, as well as instructions for producing a variety of herbal remedies. Anything about lost memories? There are a number of Saolite tonics that promise to improve your short-term memory, but nothing that speaks to your condition. I just want something that will soothe the relentless torment of my existence. Sir, this is a Wendy's. What you're describing is booze. You don't need any herbs for that. Anything about curing an apocalyptic hangover? There's nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through the various descriptions, you become convinced that you could assemble something from the ingredients listed here. Want to give it a shot? All right, book. Let's see what you got. First, you need to choose a base ingredient. Ginger root. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle. Dram of whiskey? Sure. Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add? A spoonful... That's actually kind of already a drink. Some wild ginseng root. The tincture you've invented sounds interesting, but its medicinal value is suspect, to say the least. Safe to say it won't cure your hangover. Whoever wrote this never heard of Hair of the Dog. Fuck this book. See if there's a bar open that'll still serve you. Want to try again? Sure. Mint, aloe vera, and sugar. You've created a delicious tincture of whiskey and ginger. No, I didn't. According to the pharmacopoeia, it should increase your energy and focus, though in your experience, it's only done the opposite. If only you could find one of these right now and drink the shit out of it! The book said it's good for you, so it'd be okay. Would you like to try again? Sure. Meadow rue, birch bark, and sugar? No. Alright, one more time. Meadow rue, birch bark, and pomegranate seeds. But no. Alright, I'm done. And I've already wasted my smokes. Is there a real answer to this? You know what? If there is, I'm not going to do it. I don't care anymore. The Greatest Innocence. Oh, dear. The Greatest Innocence by Joao? I hope. Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego. I'm sure I butchered Joao at the very least. The book is large and heavy. Crack open this immense tome. Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow. The sprawl of names, dates, places, events, historical, most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? Nope. Well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you learned. This might take a few minutes. You ready? Why not? That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first Innocence? Oh yeah, that's what I was made for. That's so? Give me all the hints you got. A pop quiz is a short examination designed to test your knowledge without any prior warning or announcement. Such exams allow the teacher to assess how thoroughly the students have retained the material at hand. Voila! Now blast that first Innocence. Thanks for nothing! Dolores Day. Dolores? Dolores was not the first Innocence, though. It's either the Pericarnassian or... You know, I didn't really absorb anything from what I just read. Then go with your best guess. Isn't that what students are trained to do when they don't know the answer? Sola. Incorrect. Sola was anointed during the previous century and even lived to see the current one. She was an urban planner who spoke her mind and largely left history to its own devices, encouraging people to excel on their own rather than prescribing to a deified model of history. She is often called an anti-Innocence. Sola resigned after an assassination attempt by a Yugo, that's a little too real, nationalist who blamed her for not taking the side of the left during the turn-of-the-century revolutions. Innocences don't usually resign. Care to try again? I'm pretty sure this is wrong, though. The Pericarnassian? Correct! Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him pious. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring people's love for Aurum. Really? Okay. As the first Innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the Founding Party. Question 2. Who was the strongest Innocence? Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody. All right, I trust you got my back. An Innocence is the highest category of historical personage in the world, a literal personification of history. Traditionally, an Innocence, when anointed, assumes supreme rule over the Occident, or the known world in general, or at least the parts that matter. Whoa, awfully racist there, or at least ethnolocationalist? So I thought you'd give me the answer to the question. I can do better. Okay, so commonly an Innocence does not enforce his or her power through military power. This is seen as unnecessary. The Innocents win because an Innocence can't help but win, for their deeds are inevitabilities. Did this help? No. Damn. Dolores! Franco Negro? Correct! Named the Innocence of militarism, he codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the interinsulary real as the global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation. Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue. Question 3. Who was the false Innocence? Got it under control, no problem. Solid on this one. It is widespread historical information. You gonna be helpful this time? I can use a hint. Yes, there exists a group called the Founding Party, known as the Holy Party during the time of the Pericarnassian. This, the world's oldest international organization, spends its time in search of either the re-emergence of the Innocents or new members. There seems to be a mix-up with the sources. It's not my fault. At least it clearly wasn't Dolores Day. She wouldn't be false. She's beautiful. Erno Pasterak. Correct! Oh, I'm mostly guessing. But there have been a number of counter or false innocents, some assumed to have had innocentic qualities, some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally they have had the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen. The most famous and important of these was Erno Pasternak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra. Final stretch, you have come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Question 4. Who was the greatest innocence? The most important of them all, the most precious to humankind. I've got it. Honest. Are you sure this time? I'll bite. Hint me. Of course, this is my thing. The reason I exist in this world. The correct answer is Franco Negro. You're absolutely certain of this? Zero doubts. While it was actually her. It is Dolores Day. Correct. The Masca might see Franco Negro as the father of nations. But as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence, a most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from inter-isolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow. And more beautiful. And more beautiful. And more beautiful! Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get a B! Good enough. Everyone misses a few from time to time. You would have done better if you just dialed the Dolores Day down a bit! Good enough. Take that, book. Oh? Take what? The lieutenant is jolted to attention by your sudden outburst. I put this book in its place, that's what. I'm so goddamn smart. Aha. The lieutenant looks at you with his usual lithic mask of a face. You're really just talking to yourself. It is quite silly. Put it away. The Man from Hemdall and the Devil Woman. The frontispiece of this old paperback features a muscle man in chains, kneeling before a salacious-looking woman on a regal seat. A bonfire lies between the throne and the man, casting shadows on the wall. And the shadow of the vixen's headdress looks like a pair of demonic horns. Awful symbolism. Paused for a drink of water because I feel like this book is going to need it. Oh, right. I hit I thinking it was interact and not close inventory. The edges of the pages are worn and smudged. A lot of people have read about the Devil Woman's altercations with the Hemdall man. Look at the back cover. The jacket copy proclaims, Man from Hemdall returns in his most exciting adventure yet. After crashing into a strange jungle, cannibalistic natives abduct his only surviving comrade, Noble Tyrbald. Before Man from Hemdall can mount a rescue, he is ambushed by a tribe of female warriors and taken to the ancient citadel of Cloud City. That Rage City doesn't sound so bad now, huh? Kuno knew what he was doing. Where a mysterious and wicked queen rules supreme. Will Man from Hemdall be able to escape his dire situation and find his missing friend? Time to flip through the book. You open the book to a random page. Man from Hjemdal, wielding his two Zweihanders, is carving through a sea of dark-skinned savages. His visage... Is it visage or visage? I honestly don't know. I've always read it, never heard it. Fixed in grim determination. His arms, whirling like windmills, are soaked with the blood of his enemies. Mangled corpses litter the battlefield. Good God, this is some retrograde stuff. When was this shit written? You flip to the copyright page. This book was written in 38. Let's give this a chance. Berserker rage burns in his azure-hued orbs as he brings glory and honor to his long-lost Hjemdaler tribe from the village of Hjemdal. The ivory giant roars like an ice bear. An ice bear? We've seen one of those. And the winds of Katla howl out his name. Gimme more, gimme. Man from Hjemdal rides on a gilded griffin, his golden mane billowing in the breeze. Both Zweihanders sheathed on his back. He is off to war. Will he conquer his enemies? Will he conquer himself? Onward. The steel muscles of the man from Hjemdal gleam in the humid jungle air, yet the man does not sweat. In meditation, his soul drifts in the frigid northlands he calls home. So this is going to be a pretty niche thing, but when I hit to "yet the man does not sweat," it made me think of a brief meme of man's not hot. Man's not hot. Man's not hot. I think only 3 people would get that. I'm one of them. And the other 2 are not gonna watch this video. Holy shit, this is so me. A passage reads, "The man from Hjemdal looks up, his eyes blue as the mountain lakes of his homeland." Now swan dive into an Old Spice commercial. He rarely speaks, but now his voice booms in the darkened throne room. "Do not try to sap my masculine essence, wicked temptress! Son of Hjemdal will never succumb to your seductive wiles! Thine spells are no match for purity and the strength of will! Brothers of Hjemdal stand above the vices of the flesh, for it is weak and corruptible, yet mine is forged in gore and strife." Queen Lydiana just laughs, a sultry and salacious sound. Then says, "I have grand plans for you, man from Hjemdal." She gestures her diabolical hand towards an array of potions and unguents. "First you shall please me, then lead my armies against the vicious cannibals." Not a muscle moves in the face of man from Hjemdal, yet inside there is turmoil. This goes against all he holds sacrosanct. I kept hoping it would get better, but the writing is terrible and repetitive. What do you even know about literature? Have you even read a book in your life? Hey, excuse me, I am an art cop. I know a thing or two about critical analysis. Write a thesis. Man from Hjemdal is done with you. Alright, well, let's actually get into it then. I'm gonna regret this, aren't I? Wow, this is epic. In the final pages, man from Hjemdal mounts Galawarn, his mighty griffin, and turns his gaze to the horizon. Queen Lydiana, who isn't even spelled the same, is dead, but an army of cannibals is storming the gates, and still there's no word of trusty Tyrbald. To find out what happens next, you'll have to pick up Man from Hjemdal and the Three-Eyed Skull, available in fine bookstores everywhere. Spring 39. A moment of silence for my brain cells and my integrity for having done that. That was certainly not an excuse to drink some. I've already done that. 16 days in colder state. I did that already, didn't I? The book hurt. Did that. Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. Another Dick Mullen book woefully misrepresenting the police work. In this one, our detective returns from a trip, having successfully solved a 100-year-old cold case. Okay. Only to embark on another. Does he finally face the taxing nature of his occupation? No, he doesn't even look like a normal law officer. That looks like the neighborhood watch sign guy, you know, what you're supposed to look out for. Okay, so story time. Once upon a time, no, you know what? No, not story time. But if anybody catches me on Discord, maybe I'll tell it. Interact. In your hand you hold Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. The brittle paperback feels fragile to the touch. Examine the cover. The cover features a pastiche of different scenes. In the foreground, a man in a dark overcoat clutches a pistol to his chest. Rising up behind him are two silhouettes wrapped in a passionate embrace. The tagline reads, Detective Dick Mullen must prove his innocence after an old friend is murdered by someone who looks just like Dick Mullen. That seems to sum up the premise nicely. Needless to say, it violates nearly every RCM regulation for a detective to investigate a murder in which he is a suspect. Are you really reading that, detective? I really need to know who this Dick Mullen guy is. Good luck finding it. He's not much of a character, I think you'll find. Just a stand-in for the reader. Good call. The story opens with a knock at the door. Detective Dick Mullen is greeted by an old friend, Charlie Spillane, who's come to Mullen to ask a favor on this dark and cold night. Spillane needs Mullen to drive him in from Vesper to a small town along the Insulindian coast. Despite his friend's apparent agitation, Mullen does as he's asked, then returns home where he passes out drunk, as he does most nights. An extremely unprofessional and hurtful stereotype that's offensive to all upstanding officers of the law. But also extremely accurate in your case. Hey, I'm trying at least. Are you, though? Look, I can't judge. 2 days later, Mullen is arrested by the Vesper police and charged with the murder of Charlie Spillane. At his interrogation, Mullen learns that Charlie Spillane was shot in a bar in the very town Mullen dropped him off in by a man matching Mullen's description. Desperate to clear his name, Mullen manages to convince the Vesper police to release him for 3 days so that Mullen may solve his friend's murder and prove his innocence. The cops release their prime murder suspect so he can find the real killer. Are you shitting me? What's the matter, detective? Kim turns to you with a start. I don't know who's writing this shit, but I get the feeling they aren't experts on homicide investigation. The lieutenant shrugs, resigned to the idea that his profession will rarely, if ever, be accurately represented in art and literature. Okay, so Mullen didn't do it. Of course Mullen didn't do it. That's the whole premise of the book. Anyway, Mullen returns to the seaside bar where Spillane was murdered and meets a beautiful, mysterious woman named Deanna Deneuve. Nice. No. Now it's getting interesting. Sure. Deneuve reveals that she was Spillane's lover and that he was mixed up with a local amphetamine smuggling operation. As soon as Mullen begins pulling at strings, the whole conspiracy begins to unravel. Not only is the local police captain in on the amphetamine ring, so is the son of a powerful politician and a strung-out art collector named Torvald, each of whom has his own reasons for wanting Spillane dead. Tell me about the corrupt police captain. Outwardly, the old police captain is a real law and order crypto-fascist, a barrel-chested man who's beaten his share of suspects to a pulp. But he's also dirty, and increasingly paranoid that someone's going to expose his role in the drug ring. He would certainly have the motive and the means, but the captain walks with a noticeable limp from an old war injury. Is it possible he was able to conceal it long enough to commit the murder? How about the politician's son? A typical privileged twat. In all likelihood, he's just in over his head. He does bear a personal grudge against Spillane, though, a former prosecutor who nearly brought down his father's administration. The kid doesn't exactly have Dick Mullen's manly build, but he is the correct height, and while interrogating him at his home, Mullen did notice a certain overcoat that looks suspiciously like his own. What was that about, an art collector? Torvald, the art collector, is a strung-out mess. Frankly, it's hard to imagine him holding a pistol steady enough to actually hit someone, let alone plug them 3 times in the chest, the way old Spillane did. That said, Torvald and Spillane have a long history, and while interrogating him, Mullen discovers that Torvald was once involved with Deanna Deneuve. Could it be that this is all over a sordid love triangle? Alright, fine. Let's get on with the story. One evening, Deanna Deneuve comes to Mullen's hostel room in tears. The two of them drink half a bottle of vodka, and soon they're seeking comfort in each other's arms.
Yes, comfort and pleasure, the warmth of another human's touch, the burning taste of liquor on her full, sweet lips.
Well, that testimony won't be admissible any longer. How does Mullen expect to solve the murder if he's sleeping with witnesses? The man's a prosecutor's nightmare. The man's a prosecutor's nightmare. Solving a murder counts for nothing if all the evidence gets thrown out in court over police misconduct. I'm not sure I'm happy with this, but maybe the story will turn it around. As the two lovers share a poised Where's that water? Coming down on top of us while I try to read this book. No wonder it falls apart. Oops, I got ahead of myself. As the two lovers share a post-coital cigarette, Deanna Deneuve turns to Mullen and says, "By the way, Dick, there was something else I meant to tell you." I love you.
The name of the true killer.
Always aim for the center of mass. Whatever it is, Mullen never hears the words. A blow to the base of his skull knocks him out cold instantly. Well, fuck, because I'm not saying that second option. When Mullen comes to, Deneuve is dead on the hostel bed next to him. To make matters worse, his clothes are covered with her blood. Double fuck. Mullen trashes his blood-stained clothes and flees the hostel, knowing it's only a matter of hours before the cops discover Deneuve's body, if they haven't been tipped off already. Fleeing a crime scene, destroying evidence. Even if Detective Mullen did commit the murder,
He should be facing years behind bars. The heat is on. The heat is on. The heat's on. It's on the street. If Dick Mullen can't solve both murders before the cops catch up to him, he's going away for life. Can you solve the case before the cops close in? I've got some questions. What is it, detective? Why does everyone so close to Dick Mullen wind up dead? It's a dangerous line of work, but somebody has to do it. That's why Dick Mullen never lets anyone get too close. What's the matter? Afraid you've been hacking up your friends' bodies in the night? Have you gone over everyone? Is anybody missing? Why did Dick Mullen become a detective in the first place? There was never a time when he wasn't a detective. He was born a detective. Was I not born to be a detective? For a moment, you cease to read the story on the page and see the book for what it is, a collection of brittle, cheaply printed pages held together by glue made from the hooves of horses. From nowhere, you hear the screech of sneakers on a waxed floor, and you feel the burn of rope against your hands. Are these figments of some other life? You won't find the answers you're looking for here, in other words. Why bother solving crimes when the world is so evil? Is it really so evil, detective? Yeah, it's pretty fucking evil. Then why are you still here? Because I'm too chicken shit to do anything about it. It sounds like you're in for a long, hard road, detective. But then what does this book know? It's just a poorly made piece of pulp garbage, made to be consumed and discarded. Alright, I've figured it all out. So who did it, detective? Who killed Charlie Spillane and Deanna Deneuve? Communism killed them. What? That doesn't even make sense. There's never a straight answer with you, is there? You just get hooked on random stupid notions and then repeat them every chance you get. Now, go on. Find who really did it. Alright, finish the book. You begin furiously flipping through the pages, even as you know these books follow a series of well-worn tropes. You find yourself completely engrossed. You're turning pages so fast you don't even notice the ancient spine coming unglued. You try to grab the pages as they come loose, but your fingers aren't quick enough. They're gone. Wow. So you need what, a 14 in reaction speed to do that? Like, I would need 9 more points, and I only have like 2 points from close. So you need a skill of 12? Ugh. Dozens of pages scatter across the ground. The last fifth or so of the book seems to have been lost. It's possible that you could gather and reassemble the pages, but it would take way too long. Stupid old horse glue. Ah, yes, the problem with mass-market paperbacks. They're not made to last. Perhaps this is a sign that you should get back to solving your own murder? A detective? In your hand, you hold 4/5 of Dick Mullen and the mistaken identity. Start reading. Why There's truly no point. You'll never know who did it, because those pages have literally been scattered to the wind. I just want to relive the experience, if you insist, but again, it's really pointless. Okay, I get it. Keep reading. Da-da-da-da, getting interesting. Get on with the story. Not sure I'm happy with this. Fuck, double fuck. Yeah. And you'll never know what happens because the rest of the book is gone. I can surmise, can't I? If Mullen goes to jail, there wouldn't be like 50 more of these books. What makes you think this isn't the final Dick Mullen case? Isn't there already a book called Dick Mullen and the Final Case or something? How do you know this isn't the final case? This could go on forever. End it now. End it now. Okay. Put the book away. And that's how you stall for time. I'll see you in the next video, folks.